All right, the next game is called Chroma Zero. Look at this graphic, dude. Look at this thing going. The music is really pretty, too. Whoa. Look at it go. Okay, what is this? It's always worth pushing a big glowing button. I mean, it kind of is. They're not wrong. Oh dear. We just managed to kill like a whole universe there. That was great. What'd you do? Maybe I might have broken it. Here, I'll poke it again. My stuff. Actually, this happens a lot. The balance is pretty delicate here. You're new here. Do you just have that one body? And it seems like you experience time only forwards. Fancy that. A linear corporeal. Or corporeal, rather. Here. I haven't seen an LC in, well, I'm not sure because I exist outside of time. I bet you can help, though. You look like a bright one. What do you say? Want to give it a shot? Here's a show of good faith. Hold your reset input, and I'll bring you back to the beginning. For an LC, that may be a little strange. Sure. Just roll with it. You should definitely find me down there. I'll leave a little present for you up here. That should help. Hope you like hexagons. I do like hexagons. Okay then. See you. Is it momentarily? Don't be afraid to reset any time. T to reset. Alright. I held the reset button. We fixed all his stuff. He said he'd leave me a present. What is this? The hexagon. Ah, it's a teleporter. I like that. Those are quite pretty, actually. Yeah, that's neat. Hello, strange entity. How are you doing today? Yep, it's me again. I show up in lots of places around here, all at the same time. Cool, right? Go explore a bit and get to know the place. The bridge in front of you should hold up, unless you break something again. So look out for me. If you need to, just tap the signal input, and I'll do my best to signal you, wherever I am at your time. Sometimes, though, I may only be able to flicker and fade. That means there's some change you need to make in that area before I can interact with you there. Signal is T. Alright. Alright. It's like a gigantic neon museum of weirdness. Oh. Ah, crap. That was probably a mistake. All right. This is surreal. It is indeed. All right, so rotating that is a bad idea. Let's just go straight forward this time. Okay, so that's not solid yet. We need to find a way to create solid objects. Oh, we could just do it. We could just make things solid. Okay. What was that? What was that horrible noise? Did I break something? What? 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 Huh. Is it because I did 2 blue? Is it a balance between... Oh, I get it. No, I understand. It's the numbers. It's the numbers. It's how many of those things we get to add to get to the objective. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I understand now. So we have 1 green, 1 red, and 1 blue. We can only do 1 of each. By doing 2 blues, I broke the puzzle. Yeah. See that over there? Those are our clickables. At least that's my assumption right now. White is all 3. So if I did white, that would be 1 of each color. It's not what we want, is it? If I do a single white object, it'll take everything. What is this? Did that cost me something? No, it looks like it didn't. Kind of odd. So if we do 1 red, that doesn't get us all the way up. 1 green. That costs us there. Yeah, okay, so this does make sense. We can reset any time, yeah. White costs us 1 of each. Oh, crap. Alright. So let me try just doing the red. Maybe I need to keep them all to 0. Maybe I don't need to get to an objective. Can you also take? That's what I'm wondering too. Maybe I can right-click. It says interact as left mouse click though. I'm going to signal him when I'm over there. Yeah, the way the world falls apart is quite cool. I like that. Okay, he's over there. And I can't get to him because I only have 1 blue. Can I jump? I can't jump. We have one version of white. So if I did this, that would take all 3 of those. But I can take them back. Now that's interesting. Okay. So as long as I don't overuse the stock that I have, I can do 1 and then back. So this is where I want to go first. All right, got it. I cannot take what I didn't make. So now we have 1 blue again. I can use blue here and then undo that. And now I can get... Now I can do it. So if it's already existing and it has the glow on it, we now have 2 of each. So that was a way to consume. Now we can go up this way. And I can go over here because this requires... That requires 3 blue. We can't do that one. I could steal that blue, and we have 3 now. There we go. When you're done exploring here, the rotate buttons don't always break everything around here. Be bold, or bright. Also, if you forget anything I say, just hit that input button where you freeze time. Nice going, by the way. I didn't know you had it in you. And there's a dialogue log in there for you. Alright. Get our blue back. We'll look down here. There's other stuff to steal down here. What do these do? That cost us 1 blue. But what did it do? There's so many colors. All right, take that back. These are all ones that cost us. So I have to go back up. Actually, wait, is there something down here? There's nothing in the wall. That's a good storage location, I guess, but I don't know why you would store. This is black, so we can't do anything with that right now. Let's take our blue back. I don't know what that is up there. Can't do anything with that. I can make both of the trees grow. That might be interesting. I'm going to do that. I don't know why else you would have them here, right? Does that do anything? Maybe not. Aha! Eat the red. Hello. Elsie, did you know you have a giant camera for a head? Who's actually looking at me right now? Sorry you have to move around in space and time like that. It must be so cumbersome. If you're not out looking for my fragments, you should try to find these temples. They will help you make sense of this universe, too. Plus, they're cozy and warm in case it rains. I like to call it the large red, green, and blue structures the rings, even though they're square-shaped. And the big bright thing in the blue ring, I call it the light gate. There are smaller gates out there, too. You know, if I'm calling you LC, you can call me Zero. Alright, Zero. Cool with me. We've stolen more red. I'm collecting all of the color. Interesting. If we use red to get up here, I now have 3, 2, and 3. I can't reach that. I need some way to get up there. Maybe this? Maybe we just need all of these. Right? Every direction to get up here. This is 2 of blue. No, I have 2 red left. And this didn't do anything. Maybe that's not the right way. Interesting. Actually, I think I might be onto something here. Black seems to fill in when I have everything set up to get to that location. Or, rather... that means it's a color I don't have, maybe? I don't know yet. Wait, does that mean that pillar is also a color? Hold up. Can I rotate and get more? It does count. How many more objects are like that? If we rotate over there, can I steal more colors and then come back? It's all one big puzzle, isn't it? I understand. All right. We have to think about every one of the sides at the same time. Okay. Yep. Wait, we lost the green. I lose points each time I rotate. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. Each rotation costs us. Now it makes sense. There's a penalty, yeah. There's our one for each. Yeah, it's a Rubik's Cube, man. Yoink. All right, we got 2, 2, 3 right now. We're going to have 4, 2, 3 in a moment, because I'm going to go over there to that. Save option could be handy. I can agree with that. It'd be nice to restart from a specific location. Yoink. Yoink. Oh, wait, he's gone. Did he appear because I did these trees? Oh, I gotta find each fragment in each of these locations. There's one in there. I wonder if we can get all the way over to that wall. I should have 4, 2, and 3 right now. Yeah, 4, 2, 3. What is this? Do we have this color? Okay, so that's red and blue, so that's the purple for this. Yeah, 4, 2, 3. All right. Dev Spotted, what's up? Your game is very interesting. I'm understanding the rules of your universe. Slowly, but surely. Yeah, there's another temple here, but it's not open. Maybe it'll open if I put all those trees to good use? If we have 4, 2, and 3, I don't have enough blue. I'm going to go across over there. I want to see if there's anything that's reactive. So we can do that. If I activate over to here, does it turn on that bridge? The answer is no. There is a red block over there. It looks like it's a storage sequence kind of like this. I'm going to look for the green one. Because we have this storage block in here. If we go this way, is that one also unable to? It is. 422. Yeah, so I can't get onto the green unless I have whatever this is. But it's missing. 423. Makes your brain itch? Good. You see a thube? I'm mostly interested in what causes the black ones to become lit up. Like, how does that interact just yet? I'm also going to go look where that fragment is, all the way out there. Because we can make them flicker. There was one that was all the way over there. Look, they're all the way out there. Oh, there's so much more on the other side. Look. They're everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And this? What is this? What could that be? Alright, I feel like I've gotten everything from this location that matters. Like I've collected a bunch of stuff, but rotating is going to remove my colors again. And it'll rotate that way. So let's look up at that wall and see if there's anything I can get from there. If I have 4, 2, and 3, I would lose one of each. But I could go to the center there and use that red teleporter. Is that worth it? I think it might be. I think that's the right way to do it. Try doing all the stairs in the middle. I already did. It didn't seem to do anything. It seemed like combination effects don't function in the way that I was expecting. Because I was expecting this to go like, you do this, and then you get all 3 of them going, and then it activated the center thing, but it didn't do anything. And I don't have enough blue to do everything. Because like I can get up there. I'll show you. Seem to be going down in the well again? Yeah. I mean, there's like, I'm looking at all the possibilities and combinations that we can see up on the walls over there. But like, if we do this, I'm wondering if this only activates if we activate all of the blocks on the inside of these. Because maybe it's like, there's no reason to do that otherwise, right? Like, if we go down here, right? Like, does that do a thing? Right? So, like, the idea is maybe we have to collect enough colors to get back here, reach all of these 3 different blocks here, and then that activates that teleporter. Like, this is the end condition rather than the beginning condition. Instead of storage, maybe it's a power plant. Right? I think I can rotate now comfortably. It is a little bit weird that I'm going to lose colors doing so. Which makes me wonder if the reason that I lost colors is because it left a pillar somewhere. But I'm going to rotate with 4, 2, and 3. And then we'll see where we can get from there. Actually, let's teleport first. What happens if I teleport with this? Can you store them here? If you hit 0, if you try to go under 0 on any of them, you die. Yeah. Hitting 0 anywhere, you die. Or under 0, rather. I think that's every interaction I could have performed there. I already tried the 2 trees. Now we're at 3, 1, and 2. And we can go back out. It's red, green, blue. So, 3 red. I can do a red on this, which that would be a teleportation. But I think we did this last time and I fell to my death. But if we do this, this should count as 1? Yeah, it's 1. So there's no objects I can just steal from, huh? There's nothing theftable. I need to get him. Let's go this way. I'm going to expand out to the entire thing. Oh, there's a white. We can take that. That door will be one of each. Okay. Okay, it's a color pattern thing. Everything is dark. That means that those blocks there contain the color red. We're trying to determine what colors these are. These blocks here contain the color green. These blocks here contain the color blue. So if we do this, the block in the end here is white. The one on the very left is white. I'm going to start writing these down. All right. How many blocks do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 blocks. We've got white on the first one. Let's go to the second one. We've got a red, no green, no blue. So that means the second one is going to be red. Third one is going to be... We've got a red again. We've got a green, so it's yellow. Third one is yellow. This is probably going to be the order in which we have to solve a puzzle. Yep. Next one is going to be 4. No red. Yes, green. No blue. Green. Green. Fifth one. No red. Yes, green. Yes, blue. Green and blue. So that would be that cyan teal color. This is really interesting because it shows you, like, all of these, right? But it makes me wonder, like, are we using this in an order that matters? Does this even turn into anything? Can we change these resources? Right? It's all chromed out, yeah. Because we could do all 3 of the colors, but then it's like, do these actually come through like this? And I think what it might be telling me is these out here are not the right color. Does that make sense? I'm going to write down the whole thing for it, but look at this. Like, if we turn this red, get rid of the red light, does that mean that everything nearby is not getting red lighted anymore? Does that mean that these blocks are not the right color? Like, if we look at this one, it's red now, but now it's black. And I think that's what's happening here, is we have to determine what these blocks actually are. Based on that, that's my anticipation for it. I'm going to go back in there. I'm going to write down the rest of the colors. We'll just keep all the 3 lights on just to determine that. That's how you get black, maybe? That might be. Yeah. Is there an accessibility option for the colorblind? Yes. We go into here. We go into graphics. There was a section in this that I saw. It might be under display. There's photosensitivity. There's color vision deficiency. There you go. You can do it right in the center of the screen if you want to. So you can say, like, that's this color. That's that color. Looks like it doesn't do it for those, but it does it for these. Maybe if we get closer. Cyan, blue. Did you actually... Oh, that is fantastic. It actually updates it completely. Cool. I'm going to write down the order of these just in case. Cyan, blue, purple. Yeah, for color deficiency mode, that's really helpful. And you can change the location of it too. You can put it in the corners if you'd like. Yeah, it's a really good way to do it. Blue. Blue? Wait. Wait. Did it change this to blue by putting blue light on it? Is that what it's trying to teach me? No. I thought maybe it was. Can we change the color that we absorb by doing this? Because that is yellow. It's orange now, but now it's red. Now it's red. Turning on the yellow. It's still red. All right. Maybe that's not what it was trying to teach. This is black. Still black. How many colors do we have? Okay, I have enough for this. Now this is actually a black pillar. Are these all black pillars? I wonder if these are all black pillars across the entirety of the thing in here. This is like the colorblind's worst enemy. Look at the top right. No, it's not. I think these pillars are actually all black. And it's just trying to teach us about lighting. Yeah. And the ones on the outside edge are all red. Oh, there's another temple over here. Maybe it's trying to teach you how much color you need. Maybe. Alright, let's figure out what this one's trying to say. Stealing your red. What? Is that eating colors? 7, 3, and 4. What are you trying to teach me, sir? This one tilts it clockwise. This one tilts it counterclockwise. What are you trying to teach? The ball in the center is white. Changing this doesn't change that ball. Rotating the entire room doesn't do anything with this. But we can. This symbol is rotate clockwise. From the perspective of this. So facing this direction. I guess that would be the orb in this case, or the ball. So if we hit a symbol that does that, let's go look at our symbol that we started with. I don't think it's teaching the trees, I think it's teaching the cube. We've got enough resources to move ahead. So, with this in mind, rotating this, someone noticed it does actually increase the size of the sphere. So rotating counterclockwise, I'm going to guess indicates going back in time, increases the size of the sphere. Rotating clockwise, or indicating going forward in time, decreases the size of the sphere. Maybe that's decreasing the color pool that we have. So if I find a way to rotate the opposite direction, we get more white. If I find a way to rotate this way, which is the way we go, we get less white. So it costs us to go clockwise. It gives us bonuses to go counterclockwise. We need to find a way to go counterclockwise. Each step forward will cost. That's my guess right now. Maybe it is the same thing in the big thing? Maybe. Like, this is going to cost us. We have 7, 3, and 4. Now we have 6, 2, and 3. Because we went clockwise. We need to find a way to go counterclockwise to get points. It looks like each one of these has a temple. It has 2 temples. What is this one? What? Hello. Hey, buddy. See you appear when we drain them out of cubes and turn them into structures. I'm impressed that you've already picked up some of the connections here. This is new for you, though. It shows how binding works. So I hope you were paying attention and not just pushing random buttons again. Definitely not. Here's an example. If you bind energy to a black shell, like those tree trunks outside, it will make them solid. For bridges or stairs, that could help your future solid body get to places your past body couldn't reach. Want to try it? I think you'll need a little more power first. Let's give you some of my own energy. That should do the trick. You'll need to accept my energy, so hold down the red, green, and blue inputs. And keep them held down until you feel it flowing and hear a big poofy sound. It means if you absorb my energy, then you can bind anytime you like. And if your input device isn't registering all three inputs at once, I made you a little shortcut key you can try holding instead. Finley input devices. You're welcome. What? Bind new energy to objects by holding red, green, and blue inputs, then interacting. Must be on... Okay. What does that mean? I don't quite understand. We'll figure it out. That cost me points. But we can bind black now. Okay, I understand now. We have the ability to bind black now. If we bind it, does it bind permanently? It might. I think it does. I think that's the whole point. It's a permanent bind. Or not. It's not permanent. It's not permanent. I'm a fool. I'm a fool. Wait. Damn it. Alright, I learned something. I don't know if it was good to learn it, but I learned it. It's fine. It's fine. I can bind structures now. And that binding is permanent, but costs a bunch of points. Hey, there's a doodad over there. What is he doing? What you doing, doodad? Were you here before? You always here? You're right, I wasn't here before. Alright. For you. There's some more me's in other spots, too. You should be able to bind energy to empty blocks now. Try holding down the color of your choice and then interacting with the empty bridge, for example. Keep an eye on the balance, too. Making things solid like this isn't free. I see. I see. I see. Okay. So, we'll eat this back. Pop back up here. We can choose what colors we want to use when it comes to binding bridges that are currently solid black. Green for this one. Blue for this one. And that means we can solve any one of these in a completely different way every time. Dear God, this is going to get so complicated. And that means we can... Can we unbind this? Binding is permanent, isn't it? No! Ah, wait. If we make that one red, we make this one green, does that matter? It does not. Reset it. Reset the world! I've learned something. Okay. I have 1, 1, and 1. I need to go eat some of these. We gotta eat the white one here. That'll give us 2, 2, and 2. Then I have to go over there to the pyramid and get the 2 reds. Then we can bind red, red, and red going all the way up. Wait, what color is that? It's red, but it's already bound, so we can unbind it. Give me you. Give me you. Now I should have 4, 2, and 2. I don't think there's another color in here. Oh, there is. The bridge. There's the stairwell. So we got 4, 2, and 2. Now we'll have 4, 2, and 3. Go this way. And we can bind this with red. There we go. And then we can unbind that one. Can I... Huh. Made it. Alright, where do you take me? Where am I going? Is it weird? You don't work without a floor, do you? Damn it. That's not what I wanted! I bound the object I was inside. Those aren't teleporters, I don't think? Oh, they're definitely teleporters. Getting faster. Maybe it needs to be white? Could be. But if we bind it, then it's permanent. So, like... Like, if we bind it a permanent color, binding is perma. Yeah. I think I need to have the floor. Yeah. Oh, I bound it. I'm an idiot. Whatever. I'll learn something. Give it the floor. Drain it. Oh, I think that worked. No. No, it didn't. Let's go... G. And then we'll go... blue. And then... Oh, maybe it's got to be the same color all the way around. Maybe it's got to be like green. Yeah, maybe it's got to be like green, blue, and blue. And then red and red, and then white. Maybe I don't have the points. I'm going to reset. I'm going to go investigate the red power plant looking area. Maybe red means it doesn't work yet. Could be. Could be that. The thing is, we just don't know. The idea is to kind of like play with it, I guess, you know? That's the idea that I'm getting right now, is to play around with the different pieces and see, like... You kind of have to see when it's a puzzle. You have to see the puzzle master's intention, right? I don't know what their intention was. Not yet. And I will, eventually. You know? How much red do we have? 4? I'm going to do blue for this. Because we have 3 blue. And I have 4 red. So if I do 4 reds here... What did that do? And then we make this out of green. What is that? What is that? They are power plants. I was right. All right. There's a power plant. There's a power plant. I understand now. Okay. Learned a thing. The witnessing has begun, yeah. So we can't possibly get enough blue on this island. This is the end puzzle. This isn't the beginning. This is what we do at the end of the run, I think. We have to have enough materials at the very end to do whatever this is to get all 3 power plants running effectively. They're like power plants in some way. But what I might be able to do is that. Oh, I could totally do it. I could totally do it. Give me the red. Got it. Yoink. All right, so now I can leave this platform with 5, 2, and 3, which is more than I had before. And I don't think this is solvable otherwise. I yoinked it, dude. Got yoinked. I think that's everything we need to do here, yeah? I don't know how that works. I don't know how you'd get that, but here we are. There is a temple over there that isn't activated. Doesn't seem to do anything. And there are stars out there. Flickering little dudes. Oh, wait, what do you want? What? Okay, this has to be activated for us to do that, and that's the 3 different power plants for this. And that means that we need 1, 2, 3 bindable materials there, 1, 2, 3 bindable materials there, 4 greens, no, 5 greens, 5 reds, and 5 blues. That's a lot of material, dude. Is there another? What is that? Is there anything in here? Can we steal this? Oh! There's more! What else can I steal? Anything that looks like a grid is theftable. We don't even need that thing anymore. I just need this. Okay. Okay. What is that? There's something up there. Do you see it? What is that? There's a pool there. If we rotate, we lose 1 of each. But I gain more blue and more red. And then we rotate again and I get more green. I think we gotta do a full rotation. It rotated much faster that time. Because it's light. That's great, dude. Hey, do you want to come out of there? Need your help. No? All right. One of each. Don't need you. And this will give me 1 of each as well. We've learned a little bit in here. I wonder if I have enough points to do all of these. Not yet. I need to get to the end and then rotate. Zoop. Alright, let's go into here. There's so many connections here. Wait. We learned about this. We learned about binding. Yoink. What are you doing, man? What are you doing, man? Gimme. Can't get that. There's only 1 temple on this one, but we're at 7, 5, and 5. I think that's everything in here. There's another temple there on the next platform. We'll go 1 forward. Ooh. Can I steal this? Yeah. I'm at 6, 4, and 4. Hell yes. Harvest the trees. We're at 9, 9, and 9. Wait, I'm more than 9. It can't comprehend the number of that I have. What are you doing, man? Whoa. Okay. So that's teaching me about those rooms. Got it. We have to rotate one more time and then I can do it. Ow. Why are you evil? Hey, wonderful to see you, Elsie. Sorry, I don't really have anything to add right now. I just really like it here. Alright, man. I come here a lot. Helps me think, keeps me calm, brings me peace. Do you have a place like that? That one is dark and blue. The water, the trees, it all just feels right, don't you think? Okay. Haunted. It's all haunted. Let's go up here. Ah! We can bind the water. What does that do, though? I'm gonna hold on to my resources. We're gonna go one more. We're gonna start it over. We're back to the beginning. Blue's up. We got 4 blue. I gotta do green now. Got 7 green. I just need 5 going into this. Good. That leaves us with 2 green. Red. 8 red. Something's happening. Can you remove it when you use it? Only when it's like a blueprint one like this. But when it's a bound one, it's permanent. I have 4, 2, and 4. What do you got? It's kind of warm right here. That certainly did something. Hey, things actually feel a lot more balanced, I think. Let's keep going. There's more to understand in the other rings. Oh, and this should help. You certainly notice that rotating the rings one way costs energy, but you realize if you rotate them another way, it generates energy. We were right! The sphere made sense. You're ready. Give it a shot. Rotate the rings in reverse to accumulate energy. Okay. I wish to accumulate. I wish to accumulate? How do I rotate them the other direction? Wait. How do I do that? How does one rotate in the other direction? I don't understand. Wait, above us. That thing over there. I have to rotate that, right? How do I reach it? I have to reach it somehow. Shit. I don't have a way of reaching that. How do I reach the symbol? So we can only rotate in that direction if we find the symbol. That's the only thing. Stretch your arms? I know, right? You gotta get real tall, dude. Oh. But it's talk to the dev time. If you would like to introduce yourself, I'm gonna turn the music in the game down, even though it's lovely, so that the community can hear you just fine.
Thank you. Yeah, my online handle is eCores. My name's Evan. made this game Chroma Zero. Since you mentioned the music, my cousin and his co-composer made the music.
Oh,
Besides
nice.
that's it. That's the team.
Really? That's the whole team.
If you don't count the 100 playtesters, which I do. It was a big team effort. I mean, I was the developer, but the playtesting really shaped the game in wonderful ways.
That's fantastic. Yeah, If you'd like to tell the community a little bit about the game, because this is fantastic. I've had a great time exploring through this, and I'm really interested in kind of your inspiration here. What made you want to build this?
Sure. So chat already referenced Indiecember, which was just a phenomenal game. It's a decade old, if not more, and was really just a really big breath of fresh air when it came to what a puzzle game could be. And I played it on release and then waited, and there really weren't any other games that like felt the same to me. That the way you just had to sort of explore and poke around and discover and put together sometimes abstract rules, sometimes concrete rules. And you know, there have been some others that I thought did a great job. Manifold Garden got referenced. That was good too, but it looked similar, but it didn't quite feel the same to me. And then in 2020, Outer Wilds came out. Totally different game, but that same feeling of rewarding curiosity came back, and Tunic did it too, and you know, I just thought I'd give it a go. I thought I like this. This is such a neat feeling while playing a game. Can it work? You know, if there's no combat, if there's, you know, minimal dialogue, and really, like, can I make a game? That was another question I just wanted to answer. So yeah. This project kind of helped me answer those questions.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm really enjoying this so far. I think that you've done a fantastic job with this. I just figured out how to generate resources as I go through, and I'm seeing what happens if I bind all of these.
Oh yeah, I've been watching.
It works. So it works even if you bind them all, which is kind of interesting.
I think it's the kind of game where this is the struggle of being a solo dev, right? I can only program in and sort of reward so many hypotheses, you know. So I want players to think of something that they could do and then go try it, and then, you know, have something rewarding happen, whether or not it's the total answer or part of the answer or one layer or whatever. I do want players to be able to kind of test, and you know, you've had some interesting theories while you've been roaming around, and you know, some of them work and some of them don't, and I think it's what I've found is it's players really like that. Typically, they're satisfied with the rules once they uncover them all, because they are quite interconnected and layered.
Yeah, I think the thing for me is whenever I find a game like this, it's always like, I have no idea what rules you have defined. So let's make a bunch of theories, you know, like maybe those ideas work, maybe they don't work, you know, and the whole point is just to try. And I love games like this because it's rewarding the curiosity and it's rewarding play. You know, like I'm trying things. I don't know if they're going to function. You know, it feels interesting. We're going to keep going in that direction. I quite like that. And I think this has been a lot of fun so far. What would you say was, in your opinion, the most difficult thing about implementation for this game so far? Like, what is the hardest thing that you've had to come across to work on?
Well, so my background was not in game development. My approach to game development came from ROM hacking old arcade games.
Wow.
And we can get into that if you like the topic. But the engine. By the way, so this is in Unreal. It's in Unreal, that sort of out of the box gave me a lot of functionality, but boy, it is quite opaque when it comes to a lot of the things you would want to do when you start optimizing, I guess. It's been out about a year, but actually Friday it's going to come out on PlayStation 5. Mm-hmm. And one of the hardest things was, I mean, I can even see, like, maybe it's just the stream, but it's not the most optimized game. And boy, have I tried trying to, figure out Lumen, which is the lighting system, temporal super resolutions, which is like the scaling system, and just like how all of those things are put together and built. The Unreal rendering pipeline is like my worst enemy. But when it works, it's beautiful, and it kind of gives me a lot of nice aesthetic. But it's definitely been the hardest part, trying to wrangle all of the shaders to work on PlayStation, and even now I'm trying to make a version of the game that would work on like a lower end laptop or something, and that's difficult.
I just ate the water. I'm so confused.
Great.
How did I? What? All right. I ate it. Yeah, something happened. Yeah, no, I didn't realize this was made in Unreal. So you did all of this in Unreal? I thought it was actually Godot at first, but no, the lighting in this is fantastic, so it does make quite a lot of sense there.
Yeah, I tried. So I started it's like beginning a couple of months at 2024, and I guess I was platform agnostic at that point in time. I downloaded all of them, the big ones, Unity, Unreal, and Godot, and just sort of tried all the tutorials, and I think it was Antechamber was written in Unreal, one of the older ones that kind of maybe gave me some bias. But the out of the box Unreal seemed to work the best for what I was kind of going for, and when I thought about the programming languages involved, coming from the arcade world, that's all assembly stuff, and so I thought, well, C is close to what I've kind of been doing in that, and C++ maybe could be closer to that, and I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but C++ seemed like it would be fun to learn. I never ended up having to, though. This is all built in Blueprints, if you know what that is.
Yeah, no, Blueprints is fantastic. In fact, we've been talking a lot about Hytale's going to be coming out in January, and they're going to be doing a coding system of that very much so like Blueprints. So all visual scripting is going to be really nice. So a lot of people in the community are super excited to see that, and Blueprints it's great. Like, it's actually like super helpful. Super down with it.
Yeah, and for me, the thing about it is super fast. So to just iterate on an idea, to build it and try it, to get playtesting feedback, and then to be able to implement it that day and publish a new change, that made it just super powerful. I ended up having to do a little bit of C++, but it was mostly for like third-party libraries, like Discord, rich presence, and that stuff. Nothing major.
Discord rich presence stuff is actually like it's kind of funny because a lot of people don't realize that. They're like, oh yeah, it just shows when you're playing a video game on Discord. And it's like, you have to put that in your game, man. Like, that's the thing that you have to get the game to work with. And a lot of people don't realize that you build
when I first turned it on, it was like it just the little icon defaults to like a Super Mario question block.
Yep.
It's like, what's going on?
Yeah,
Isn't this just automatic? No.
Yeah, no, none of it's automatic. It doesn't pull the game or anything like that. You gotta hope. Hope you know what you're doing with it, and then play around with it a whole bunch. Yeah, we do the same thing. So like, whenever the TTS messages go through, you guys see people's faces like that. It's the exact same thing for that too. Like, I have to dynamically pull your icon off of social media when you send a TTS message, and then it has to go up onto the Discord, and then put it up there as you. It's like a whole thing. We have a TTS system where every time somebody donates or anything like that, it goes onto the Discord so people can review the messaging. Did this work? Yes? Oh, I'm super dead, aren't I? Wait. Not dead. What? Okay, that's where green is. Unless I rotate? By the way, I wanted to say your system of doing, like, accessibility for colors is fantastic. If you guys look in the top right corner, you can actually see what color we're looking at. It's just listed in text each time for the player. And I think that's great, personally.
Thanks. The options were pretty limited for me, so I think the sort of standard that I read about was that you're supposed to vary textures so that things are recognizable whether they're colored or not. And I can tell I don't have a lot of textures in the game, so I didn't feel like, I could have guessed I could have added a toggle and then it would have added a bunch of textures, but thankfully I found a couple of playtesters who were color vision deficient in a couple of ways, and there's really a lot of literature about it, and Unreal has some settings where you can kind of simulate it to see what it's like, and it just seemed pretty intimidating. So I thought the simplest would just be like, hey, if I'm aiming at something, can I just tell you the color? Because that's really what's important in the game. If you zoom too, it'll zoom is Z, I think. So if you zoom in on something, it'll engage and you can tell what color something is in the distance. But for the most part in the game, you're just right up next to what you want to see. And they play tested it, they finished it, they thought it was great and unobtrusive, and so ship it.
Yep, felt good. That's awesome. I just learned how to rotate the boxes individually. It gets weird. There's so much game in this. I love this because everything that you do in it, you're learning something new about like the way that you have built this world and how you kind of want it to feel and be. And it's like adding something new to your toolkit, but it's adding it in a way that's like, how do I describe it? It's adding it in a way that is not something that can be taken away by changing statistics in a game. Because a lot of times games like this, you'll have a power-up or something like that. Video games will give you a power-up, and you kind of go from there. But this is not that. And it's very interesting to me to see how much this is about your personal knowledge and what you've learned about the systems involved.
I mean,
What's up?
Oh, that was the goal. I didn't actually want any unlocks in the game at all. You encountered one just to. So I think one of your first questions was what was the hardest thing in the game. So besides Lumen, it was trying to balance how long someone goes before they kind of understand something new. And when I originally had like everything open from the beginning, it was kind of overwhelming, and people didn't understand that they had a harder time putting the pieces together because there were so many pieces all at once. So there's I guess now after so much play testing, I'm pretty happy with the progress and sort of the time between increments of progress that people can experience. So you get that, there's a little frustration and then there's satisfaction, and there's not much dead time in between, hopefully.
That makes sense. Yeah, I don't think that there's any frustration that I felt so far. It's mostly just curiosity of trying different things. And stuff like this, where I can rotate this awkwardly now, at strange angles. That's incredibly interesting to me. And now, because of that, I think I can go interact with that one that I couldn't reach before, or didn't exist maybe. It's just so interesting for this. I probably shouldn't have come down here. Yep, you're stuck now. My bad. Great. Thanks, bud. Well, at least now I've learned something, I find that to be really fascinating, though, because it very quickly, you're worried about resources in the beginning. It's like, no, the resources aren't the puzzle. Once you realize how to interact with the machine, the resources are no longer the puzzle. Now it's solving and understanding.
And that's the goal. My demo, it's kind of a hard game to kind of end as a demo. So that's actually what I say when I end the demo, because I feel like most players will only have encountered the first layer, which feels like resource management. I mean, a lot of puzzle games are that, right? It feels like I have one block, I'm one block shy of the numbers that I need, or I need one more portal, or I need one more cable, or whatever it is. And so at the end of the demo for this, Zero actually says, hey, there's more here than just resource management. So, funny. We hope you come back.
Man, I love the idea of having a character that is like an out of time entity too. I think that's quite funny. He's like, oh yeah, this is just kind of the place that I make, ridiculous geometry. What's up, dude? Welcome. And there's a thing all the way up there too. I want to go to that thing. Yeah, no, I find this to be really fascinating. How long have you been working on this?
I started learning Unreal January 2024.
Mhm.
I got tired of tutorials and stuff around March, and I actually said to myself, like, my ambition was a. Oh, here you go. My ambition was a larger game, but I
Mhm.
am pretty good at like managing scope and kind of understanding what I'm going to get myself into. I guess I say that, but so I wanted to make a small thing first, and I said I should make a weird rotating, cube space, and I should finish it in a month, and just see how that feels. Not going through YouTube tutorials on how to do Unreal stuff anymore. And so I got to the end of the month, and I was pretty happy with where it was, but it wasn't finished. But it felt
Mhm.
good to have that progress under my belt, and so I kept working on it. By about June, so I guess that's April, May, June, 3 months of work on it. I actually felt like I had a game worth publishing, and that's when I reached out to my cousin and said, I've got something that feels pretty cool to play, and I think I need better music than what I was anticipating on needing, and
Mhm.
um, invested in that, and then started doing playtesting, and I think I had like a fully playable game within 4 or 5 months. Like, you could finish it, but it wasn't exactly done yet. I finished it in December of last year, so
And
I
yeah,
don't know, whatever
with
it
you
is.
finishing it, so you finished it in December of last year, and
Mhm.
we've got it here. Let me pull it up on Steam. You launched in December of 2024. How do you feel that the reception has been to this?
Phenomenal. I mean, it's
96% is great. That's
yeah.
fantastic.
So exactly. So like for a solo dev, I mean, I see so many games, good-looking games. They get launched, and then it's like crickets, and it's like 6 reviews, and for
Yep.
all I know, there's like no sales. And I saw the marketing. I thought the marketing looked good. I just like I'm a bad judge, I guess, at what should or will and won't succeed. And I really made this for a specific type of player. When I reference Outer Wilds, now that you've played it a bit, like there's not a ton of narrative to connect it. There's no solar system. You're not flying a spaceship. There's none of that part of Outer Wilds. But the part where you're being rewarded for your curiosity, that's the part I really wanted to harness. And so that's who I made the game for. Like, hey, are you like me? Did you like Antechamber? Did you like Outer Wilds? Do you want more of those types of experiences, where your knowledge is the key to the game? And so that's the only marketing I did was to those communities. um, and I don't think it's a broad audience type of game. I'm not expecting to do crazy
Mhm.
numbers or anything, but I am glad that niche has enjoyed it and embraced it, and
Yeah.
is sharing it. So couldn't be happier. I mean, I got a PlayStation game coming out on Friday. It's surreal. So
And
on a
it's coming out on
PlayStation.
PlayStation. That's fantastic, dude. That's awesome. Did you go
Hell
through a
yeah.
publisher for that, or did you do the entire thing yourself?
No, I just wrote PlayStation up and said, here's this game. I got a little coverage in Japan. Maybe that helped. So my Japanese translator shared it out on Twitter, and it got an article in one of the Japanese publications. And so I linked that and said, like, it's not well known, but it's well received. Can I make a game for PlayStation? And they sent me a dev kit, and I got on my documentation glasses and just read everything I could, and then fought a couple of months and got it to work.
It's awesome. No, that is really, really cool, to be honest with you.
Oh, chat said how many languages. I had playtesters, players ended up being able to translate it. So Japanese, he's professional. The French one is professional. It's in 12 other languages though, right now. Um, that was a big, like, I launched it in December and didn't know what to expect, and by March it was clear, like, if I got some translations in, it would probably help with the market. So and then I got all the volunteers, which I paid them, but it probably way below market rate. It was just what I could afford, and they were happy to contribute. So
that's awesome. I think I may have just figured out your teleporters. I think I understand. Maybe.
I can't believe you can play and talk at the same time. By the way, that's and it's remarkable. Your stamina is remarkable.
From just streaming all the time. I mean, you have to understand.
Yeah.
I've been doing this. What is this? 8-9 years now. Like, that's like my whole thing. But yeah, no, it's just kind of, it's one of those things is you get used to it over time. You know, you learn kind of what your limits are. And there are days where like I'm way too tired or something like that. I'm like, I'm only doing 12 hours today. And some days I'll do like 15 or whatever. But like in the past, when I first started, I started at like 1 hour, 2 hours, you know, because I was like super nervous streaming, number one. But then on top of it, I just couldn't talk for that long. Like it hurts to talk all day. At least it did in the beginning, you know. But now I can. And it's practice. Everything is practice. I want to activate this. I think I understand your power plant teleporter thing, maybe. Probably not. I have an idea. One of the things I did notice is the binding system. Is there a lot of ways to just soft lock yourself in this? And you have to just start all over? Because I noticed that restarting it's pretty trivial. It's not like a big deal to restart.
Yes, it's a little problematic to give you a straight answer to that, but
fair. If it will be, then don't say a word.
Yeah.
This is not where I thought I was going to go. I was wrong. Wait. No, I wasn't wrong. Wait. Okay, never mind. I think I understand. Maybe. Kind of. Yes. Yes, I do. I get it. Now
I see. Is
Dev
Dev in chat or just watching? The answer is I can barely look over at chat and watch and talk at the same time, but I'm trying my best.
That's the best way to do it. Yeah, I find this to be really fascinating. I love games like this where you have to learn the rules of the universe for that. How did you design this out? Did you do this on paper first? What is your approach to designing puzzles like this? Everybody's is different, and I'm always interested.
Sure. The Outer Wilds developers did some great talks on how they designed their solar system and how different clues on different planets would reference to different places. And they suggested first just put it on paper and throw it on your floor with all the hints and all the places, and that's basically what I did too. I wrote on I just had note cards that said, okay, here are the locations, and then here's the information that I really need a player to convey. And I wanted to make sure that different this is fun. I wanted to make sure that everywhere you went, you could pick up another little piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started there and then play tested, because at the end of the day, no matter what I think is going to be right, it's up to the players to decide if I was right or not. And I was wrong. I was so many times. I thought, oh, this would be great. Actually, the thing you're doing right now used to be like the second thing I asked a player to do in the game. And it was when I was playtesting it, I sort of considered where my finish line was for that very first playtest, and basically nobody finished it.
Really?
And I had to decide, okay, this particular thing, which I thought was cool and fun and novel and not that hard to get to, people just ignored it for the whole first playtest. And I said, okay, I need to make this type of interaction just something way farther in the game. So
that's very interesting, actually. I think the thing that kind of blew me away that moment was this. When I realized that the platform that I was like, are you kidding me? Like, what is that?
There you go. Yeah,
and now it rotates, because it's so light, it rotates faster now.
That's always fun. That's always fun at when people discover that. Sometimes they're standing on it when they discover it, so they fall. And that's another thing in playtesting I had to kind of get right was I love watching people play the game and falling for traps almost. So, I'd be watching my playtesters and they would do that kind of thing and they'd fall through the floor and I would laugh
Yeah,
and
that's
that
the
was
best time to
like,
laugh, you
and
know?
it was hilarious, and I just had too many of those. I had like you every level had like a gotcha, and it was like, okay, well, I'm having a great time. My players are really, so I need to remove almost as many of these as I can. You went down and you talked to zero in that 45-degree angle, and you had to reset. You know, you're just, that's like,
Yep.
most people laugh at that, but there is the one or two players that's like, I don't like being trolled here, but you're making me reset here. It's like, well, like,
Oh, yeah, no, that's always going to be the case.
you know, I apologize. Like, I believe it or not, took out about 10 of those, and I left in like 3 of those. So, you know,
I think it's
um,
funny.
yeah, I mean, I think most people do, but
There's
you
always
never
people
know.
that are
And
upset about
and
it,
if you
yeah.
get, you know, if somebody's been struggling somewhere, if they haven't made any progress in 20 minutes, and that's the progress that they make, it could be frustrating.
Fair.
What color related synesthesia?
Yeah.
I see in chat. Can someone taste this world? That would be remarkable. And
Yeah.
I've never heard of anybody doing that, but I would watch that on stream.
I'd watch it. I bet it's possible. Which colors do I have? I love this menu pop-up, by the way, for like which colors you have access to and like how much resource do you have. Yeah, I find this to be really fascinating, though. And you did this with such a small amount of assets in terms of like visual assets. Were these assets that you created yourself, or was it stuff that you got through like PAX Online? Or because this is, I find this to be fascinating. It's just like very simple.
Right.
You know,
no,
like,
the cube comes with Unreal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the cube and then like the
uh,
trees and things like this too. Is that they're all very simple.
Yeah. Let's see. I you know, I'm not a strong visual artist when it comes to modeling, as evidenced by the game. But I did my best. You know, that pyramid I modeled in Unreal, everything. I think like the trees I got off of like, I'm not sure what website is, you know, free assets with accreditation, you know, where you have to credit someone. I can't remember it. So that's somebody else's tree. Did I use any other assets besides the tree? I really liked the tree.
I can tell by evidence of the tree.
And it looks, you know, it looks nice in wireframe.
Yeah.
Those sort of spheres are recreations of an Escher woodcut. The interconnected spheres. So I didn't design it. I just you know, recreated it, and then everything else I just did in Unreal. There's not much. My next game ideas are definitely going to require some assets.
Whoa, the pyramid's full of weird energy. Yeah, that makes sense though. Like it's one of the things I talk to the community about a lot is don't worry about making it beautiful. Don't worry about making next gen, you know, art or anything like that. Worry about making it have something. You know, you can program your art way through a lot of this kind of stuff, and you can make games like this beautifully with very few assets. And it is a beautiful game. So I think that's something that holds back a lot of people, and it really shouldn't.
Yeah, this wouldn't exist. So not just the 3D models, like the first thing you remarked when you started playing the game was the RGB display, or the 7-segment displays that count, you know, resource in the beginning. Those are right off of the Unreal Marketplace.
Really?
The wireframe shader started from the Unreal Marketplace, and I kind of tweaked it from there. Anything for me, for a solo dev, I don't have the time to spend a month, you know, just modeling one room or something. So I would absolutely use resources on the marketplace. And the big benefit for me is like if something is ready to go out of the box and has all of its internals exposed, you know, so like a buy a shader off of the marketplace, but I can go in and edit that shader. It means that, you know, minute one when I install it, it works, and then I can tweak it from there to make it work for me. And that eliminates the whole creation step, which is, you know, for me, way too challenging. I've got to, I mean, contrast that. There are some real hero devs out there. I'm bundled, right? The Steam game is bundled with a game called The Art of Reflection. That dev built his own engine. And it's a phenomenal game, and he really needed to do that for his game. But wouldn't even know where to start with that. So it's not anywhere near my strengths.
Totally fair. I'm going to try something weird. This whole game feels like you're trying something weird all the time, and I quite enjoy that. Like, very much so, actually. You made some trees some time ago for the Unity Asset Store for free? Oh, that's cool. What were you saying?
Nice. Oh, I mean, when it's your own game, you can be as weird with it as you want, so...
That's the best part.
I did. I was.
So, what made you go down the route of self-publishing that, by the way? Because this is always different for every dev of how they feel about the publishing process.
Oh, I think, starting with a puzzle genre, it's hard. I don't think they're, or supposedly what I hear is they don't, right? So, going after publishers could take me all, kinds of time. I don't particularly think it's the kind of game a publisher would publish anyway. It's like 7 to 10 hour experience, and then you put it away. Frankly, it can be spoiled by streams and full playthroughs and that kind of thing. Marketing is challenging, and I don't even know where I wouldn't even know what kind of publisher to start with, and maybe if I had years and a team or something to make it look closer to like an Outer Wilds or something with a lot of visual polish, then you could go to kind of an artistic publisher. But I don't know. This was, again, I started the game. I wanted it to be a game I just tested my chops on. I built it in a short amount of time and then put it out there and got some feedback on it. And it took a bit of a life of its own, thankfully. But why not publish it myself? I like interacting with the community. I love getting the feedback on it. That's so addicting, seeing people play it, hearing how they're feeling. So I don't know if I'd want to remove myself. I think a lot of publishers, that's what they do. They community manage and they do the marketing, and they're seeing the reactions, and that's part of it for me. I also wanted to learn all this, so now I know what it's like to build a game with Unreal, from zero to a PlayStation launch. And that's just my life. Those are some goals for me personally.
I understand your weird spheres. What have I done? Okay. Gotta keep going. I love just the oddness that you've put into this. There's so much weirdness throughout all. It's fantastic. It's actually fantastic. I know that I'm really glad to hear that, honestly. And I think that a lot of devs should really approach it more often like that of, can I do this without a publisher? Then I should. And it's too often that people lose complete control or access to their own games, and they don't realize it until it's way too late. They don't realize that they've lost,
Yeah, I'll also say what I've seen a lot of games that have publishers, and then the publisher decides that they have more important priorities, so they back away from that property, but they retain the publishing rights. And so just because it has a publisher on the Steam page doesn't mean they did much work for you, but they're still taking a cut.
Yep.
And so you're sort of left there going, well, I'm paying someone to do some aspect of my publish process, but they are not leaning in. So what do I do now? Do I get on the phone and yell at them, or do I do it myself anyway, or I'm stuck? So it's definitely different for everybody, but I guess I had the advantage of, oh good, there you go. The advantage of not I didn't need the game to be a financial success or anything, and that probably had a lot to do with it too. Earlier, before you started the stream, you talked about hobbies not being jobs.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I felt about this project. I just just loved how it was turning out, and I just wanted to see it to the finish line. And you know, if it connects with players, that's wonderful. If it sells well, that's wonderful. But I don't think it's it just isn't the kind of game that's ever going to be super blockbuster sales or anything like that. It's maybe a little too weird, too inaccessible, not polished enough, and that's fine, because again, that wasn't my goal.
Fair. And I guess the thing is with that, it's some people get discouraged by something not being a massive financial success, and really at the end of the day, it's about creation. It's about making things and learning and growing new skills. And if you're only focused on a monetary reward from that, then you probably shouldn't be making an indie game. Because like, the grand majority of indie games fail pretty heavily in terms of finances, but you gain other skills that you use elsewhere in your life, or you learn new things, or maybe your game takes off, maybe, right? But that's never a guarantee. And I find people stress out so hard about that. They're like, oh, my game has to sell 1 million copies. And it's like, if that's the only thing you can do, it's going to be rough, you know?
Yeah, that's a whole layer of stress I didn't want to add to my life, so...
I think you've made something really interesting. And the cool thing is you can always reference this back and be like, look at this weird game. And there's other weird games that are like this, too. If you go and look at The Witness. Witness is just like this. Very strange, strange puzzle game with a lot of strange mechanics and a lot of repeating pattern mechanics and stuff like that. So there's no reason to think that it can't, become critically acclaimed, really well-loved kind of puzzle games. They do exist out there.
Yeah, I think originally when I put it out, I was interested to just see if the niche that I built it for, like there's a weird name for a genre out there called Metroidvania. Love it or hate it, that's kind of what it's called, and it's about knowledge unlocking new paths in games rather than like power-ups. And that's that's the community. It's a small community that like these kind of games, and I do think that a portion of that community has embraced the game and did enjoy it, and that was the goal for it. I've seen a lot in chat about the music. I don't know if anybody wanted to know specifics about that, but yeah. I'll say the big advantage of the game. Once I had the visuals where they are. That's about half of the emotion in the game, and the other half to think that the music does a lot of heavy lifting there, taking you to like feel what it is to be in this space. And I had a gigantic advantage in that my cousin's a professional musician. He does like small film, commercial, TV score work with a partner of his. And, I was able to call them up and say, I've got this game project. Have you ever done a game? And I don't know if they gave me a price break or what, but I was quite happy to hire them at their, kind of working rate, because I knew I would need them to spend some time on it. And man, they nailed it. They just nailed it. So many... Like, for as many creative and for as many choices as I made in the game and the gameplay, they made just as many in the music. If anybody's interested in that type of thing, there's like a 14 or 15 minute talk through where my cousin just goes through each of the themes, the choices they made, the instrumentation, how they made the music support the themes and the feeling of the game. And it was just super cool to work with a family member like that too.
Can you send me the link for that so I can send it out to chat?
Link.
That sounds fantastic. Yeah. You have a lot of people in this community that are devs, so like huge amount of people that are either just starting out as devs or learning stuff, and anything you can send them is always much appreciated.
I will say some of the music borders on spoilery, so you should play the game the whole way first, though.
Feel that. There we go.
Or watch a stream or something. I don't know. I also get there's some people out there that look at this and it's a first person rotating world. Like I am gonna get motion sick, so
Yep.
you don't have to play it if you want to.
There's actually quite a lot of people that end up watching streams because either they like the streamer or they like the content of the stream with the people talking about stuff, or it's because they just don't have enough money to buy a game. We see that a huge amount, especially in the international audiences, that the game is just too expensive, whatever it is, or they don't know if they want to get it. It's kind of like having a demo. It's basically the same deal. It's a lot more common than you think. It's very interesting.
No, somebody in chat mentioned the regional pricing. I had some playtesters from like Brazil and Poland, and they educated me about how the Steam automatic pricing is poor when it comes to those currencies. So I tried to compensate for that. Actually, the PlayStation Store is a little more restrictive on like how things are priced. So I just recently the Steam version and lowered all the pricing a little bit to match what I'm going to put it out on PlayStation 4. So.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I already figured that out. Hey, gave me a reminder for one I already knew. Yeah, no, that's actually a really big deal to me. Is regional pricing. It's something I talk about on stream all the time. Is the countries of Brazil, Poland, Australia, even Canada, and New Zealand all have like very strange kind of automatic pricing from Steam. It's weird because like Australians, they call it the Australia tax, and it'll be like usually like 40%, anywhere from 30 to 40% higher in Australia, but their purchasing power of their dollar is roughly equivalent to the purchasing power of our dollar in their local area. So it's like they just pay an extra Australian tax for being Australian. Like it's the same thing.
I should look.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal. I almost always match the price of Australian and New Zealand to the US dollar, like one for one. So if it's 10 Australian dollars, it's 10 US dollars.
I should go fix that.
Yep, you will find it is much appreciated. It's one of the things. Portugal is a big one. Yeah, Poland is a very big one right now too. I think the hardest part that I have seen for pricing is just the euro. You can't do much about it. So like between a country like Germany and Greece, even though the purchasing power in those local areas is so different, it's the same currency and Steam won't let you change it on a per region basis. Makes it really tough.
If you actually want to listen to all of the music, I'm pretty sure you can stream it on like YouTube and Spotify, and there's the Bandcamp version, which all the money. Actually, this is one of your shorts talks about how you pay your musicians and artists. I did something similar. My musicians get all the money from the soundtrack, and
that's awesome.
Instead of paying them 25% of the revenue, I didn't know if there was going to be any revenue, so I just gave them an upfront chunk, and then there's a residual if we hit like a goal, number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the people who worked with me were really scared of that in the beginning too. So I ended up doing like an hourly payment in the beginning, and then when we hit early access, then it was a percentage from there, and it ended up everyone felt pretty comfortable. If you're ever trying to find a way to like pay people, you just got to come up with what's comfortable for everybody.
Yeah,
and it's going to be different for every team, no matter what it is.
Oh. Well, they get everything from Steam and Bandcamp, but Bandcamp takes less money. So if you like the score and you want to buy it, check out the Bandcamp link.
That's definitely the way to go. I didn't realize the Bandcamp took less. That's awesome. Maybe we'll set it up over there.
I think they even have like a Friday discount or something where they take even less or nothing on Bandcamp Fridays. What they call it.
Okay, that's kind of sick. All right, rocking. So I'm interested, do you have a speedrunning community around this? Because I feel like it's the kind of game that would have a very quick solution if you understood all of the rules.
We set one up. Some of my playtesters wanted it and suggested it, and that's the kind of feature where it doesn't take very long to put it in, and you never know, there might be embraced. When it first came out, there definitely were a handful of speedrunners. I think there's a speedrun.com page. One of the community members set it up, and there are a couple of options as to like the routes that you could speedrun. But the current world record is 49 seconds. And you wouldn't understand it if you you wouldn't understand it if you watch it, and once you do, if you finish the game, and you would understand it, it is still remarkable. It's quite creative in ways I didn't ever imagine. But it's not a very active, speedrunning community.
After 49
That's
seconds,
just
you're down to like a millionth of a second kind of runs. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quick, and it's remarkable. But yeah, I mean, I didn't build it to. I guess I didn't build it at all with speedrunning in mind. So feature and I have the game track your time base, and then I make you have to start a speedrun from like 0. So there's a button on the menu that deletes your progress and lets you start over, and I made that delete itself faster. That's about it, just so you can try again more quickly. That's the extent of the speedrunning features.
That makes sense. I mean, just adding anything for them, What would you say is the strangest bug that you found, and why was it a speedrunner that found it? It's usually it's always them.
There are some, like, I guess you call them like abuses. There's some ways you can use momentum. There's some ways to like get around a couple puzzles if you are quick. I didn't want any puzzle in the game to rely on dexterity, but that doesn't mean you can't use dexterity to solve a couple of things in a couple of places. And so there's a particular one that does get abused in speedruns, and I left it in. And there's also a particular way to start the game which gives you an advantage, and I didn't. That was definitely like a bug, right? Like I saw it happen and was like, that's not what I intended to do. But it gives speedrunners 10 seconds of a head start, so let's just leave it in,
That's cool, though.
That one's in there.
I love that you took that approach, I think that's a really good approach to take. I think a lot of the times people don't take that approach. They're like, no, that has to be fixed, So good on you for doing that.
It was marvelous. Like I said, it's just, I just want to see people having fun in the game. I don't want to. That was fun.
I think the only time I've ever really fixed stuff like that is like I'll have like out of bounds stuff and things like that. I just let them have it, But like if it's something where if you're doing a speed run, the game soft locks sometimes on a specific action, I'll fix that because it's not fun for the speedrunners, Like I want them to not have to work around the soft lock. It's not that interesting. Yeah. I'm leaving this feature, but you were goblins. Yeah, 100%.
So I thought of a different bug that really threw me for a while.
Go
and
for
that
it.
was I moved. So I built when I was working on the PlayStation. The way that I guess the manifestation of the bug was that basically nothing that I was doing in the game was like saving progress wise. None of the settings were saving, and it was intermittent. So sometimes it would work, sometimes it wasn't. But basically anything in the game that I needed to save, it was like a coin toss as to whether or not it would save. And it turns out the reason for that is twofold. One was the PlayStation itself has a physical, like, maybe it's a spinning hard disk, or the dev kit that I had is like a slow hard disk, and it also saves any given file in like the 3 megabyte chunks. And if you were to look at your PC right now, you'd see 15 different 1 kilobyte save files, one for each setting, one for progress, something like that. But on the PlayStation, what that's trying to do is write basically the minimum file size for a piece of save data, and that could be configuration or progress. It was 3 megs. So any change I needed to make in the game was a 3 megabyte read or write, and then I was doing it 15 times all at once. So it just was like too slow. I would ask for something to be saved, and then I would try to like read back that value, and it wasn't finished with the disk work yet. So so I aggregated it all in one 3 megabyte like file, just so it made it work. But that threw me for a while.
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting bug, though. Like, it really is a super interesting bug.
I did have one playtester with like a 10-year-old GPU, and it made basically if you see a color like the green above you, red on, basically made all of that shiny instead. So the whole thing is like this 90s super reflective world. They were able to finish the game because all the emissive colors show up, but everything else was like silver and crazy looking mirror.
Really? That's a super weird issue.
Yeah. Oh, I never fixed it. I don't know. I don't even know what it is. It's really just you used.
I remember
figured
I
out
had
how to
one.
make it boot, and
Yeah. I remember I had one similar to something like that where it was really long time ago, and it was somebody who was on integrated graphics, and I was originally doing a bunch of shader work stuff, and I didn't even think about somebody who couldn't compile shaders, right? And it was that's just not something you ever really think about. I didn't have an option for it. And it expressed itself in the strangest way, where it took all of our texture pages and threw them everywhere that a shader should go. So there was just like a splattering of every sprite in the entire game, just like on every piece of everything. And I was like, what is going on? And we eventually figured out it was like shader related to it. And it was like on an old version of GameMaker, and it was super funny. But I ended up working on that and then building it out into a system where we don't use shaders for lighting now. And it worked. It fixed it for them. It's like for super, super low end machines. But yeah, it's just such a wild, strange thing to see. I just never seen anything like that. I was like, all right, man. Computers are magic, chat. Magic and weirdness, I honestly love this. I've just been exploring this the whole time that we've been talking, and there's so much, like as you go through it, you're kind of just playing around, and then eventually you're like, oh, wait a minute, I understand how that works, and you kind of go from there, and it's very, very fun and interesting. I think you've done a fantastic job with this, legitimately so.
thanks. I'm glad you're having a good time because it's the kind of game I could never play while I'm also tired.
Really?
Yeah, I'm always impressed when streamers can like hold a conversation while working on a game like this that melts people's brains at times.
I do like the brain melting. Brain melting's my favorite part. I think the most interesting thing here is looking for pieces of something that I've missed somewhere else. Because I feel like on a lot of this, I've just missed something. You know what I mean? And then I'll find that little piece of something that I was looking for, figure it out, and go on to the next piece. I do love how simplistic all these models are. They don't take away from the game in any possible respect. For me, I think that they add to it, honestly. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is understanding your process for building puzzles. And I think a lot of the times when you're playing a puzzle game or solving puzzles of any kind, it's less about, I guess for me, it's less about solving the puzzle, and it's more about solving how you felt when you made the puzzle, if that makes sense. So you understand the puzzle creator.
You get to play around in my brain for a couple hours here.
It's true. Your brain is very colorful, by the way. Just thought you should. You might want to see a doctor. But I do find this to be really fascinating. I think your game is quite cool. What would you say, like, out of everything your game does, and this is going to be a tough one. It's the call your baby ugly one. What do you think your game does the worst? What is the worst feature of this?
Well, thankfully with playtesting, I think I made a lot of bad decisions about we'll say. But I with playtesting you can see where it works and where it doesn't, and it's not like it's perfect, but boy is it better than where it started.
I didn't even realize we'd already been going for 2 hours. I'm just lost in this, trying to play with it.
If it gets you, if it pulls you into the zone, time melts away. I like to tell people though you should take breaks because it's also the kind of game where you'll have an idea in the shower, 2 hours later, and then you'll be, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and try it then. And especially streamers, sometimes they try to beat the whole thing in a 5-hour session, and definitely diminishing returns after. You need to have your subconscious stew over some of it. I think
for me, I like to grind them out like that, try to solve the whole thing. But you're right. Sometimes it's better to let the shower of thoughts solve it for you.
Why I recommend people to take it in stages too. You play for an hour and a half. You tend to learn, new pieces of knowledge, every 30, 60, 90 minutes or so. And the way the game is built, what I really enjoy about the genre is that knowledge should recontextualize things about the game, locations sort of it changes the possibilities in different locations. That's like, it's almost like it's a different game now. It's really a neat feeling that I like. I learn a new tool, and that tool can be applied anywhere in the game. So I need to really turn my brain around that new fact a little bit, and that's what those breaks, I think, help do. Is they help to segment your experience, because you started the game, you thought it was resource, you learn a couple things, you learn. So now you're thinking about all other kinds of ideas, and that's fatiguing actually for your brain.
Mm-hmm.
In a good way, but
it's quite
so.
fun.
What's the weakness still? I think it comes down to the game's optimization. So it's in Unreal. It uses software-based Lumen. It uses emissive wireframe textures and anti-alias. And if I could wave a magic wand, there are some things about all of those that I would fix still, but I have not found that magic wand. What I have learned doing the PlayStation version is there are some optimization the PC version, and I think I should, because I'll have a lot of players who have older, gaming laptops, and it just doesn't run at the kind of frame to. And the art style is very simple. So when you watch the ad, you go, oh, this, there's no high-res textures in this. There's no, realism or anything. So this should run. That's a disappointment. I see some players will download it and then it won't run like they expect it to run. And that's, it's a symptom of the engine. It's as a developer. And it's it's something for the last year that I've gotten a little bit better at, and porting it gave me some more insights. Learning how to profile on different GPUs and things like that. But that's definitely like what I just wish it would run 60 frames for everybody. And I think I will spend some more time investing to get it there.
I think that's always a huge difficulty too, especially in a world with different devices. It's the same on mobile. You just have to.
Yeah.
You have so many different problems like that. Of this is specific custom hardware. It's specific hardware to this one device, and it's just oh god, it's just such a mess.
Yeah, but I think I could do a better job broadly. The reason I didn't at the beginning is I didn't know anything about it. I left some options in the settings so you can go turn off different features. Even I didn't have a good appreciation for which ones would help you the most. I just gave you them all, and on your own computer, you find a settings combination that makes it run to your satisfaction. And I leave the demo up for free. That's my hope, is players would download the demo, make sure it runs well, and then just
kind of go from there.
But I know now I can probably do a little better. And the joke when I launched was, there are a lot of developers making Unreal games, and everybody thinks that none of them are optimized anyway. So, it's like, how am I going to beat out, AAA devs who can't optimize their Unreal?
Yeah, that's always.
But now I know it's like I think I have a pathway to improve it, and I look forward to working on that. Probably next week, couple of weeks.
Nice.
I mean, it's not like it runs super poorly or anything, but at the low end, it struggles. Like Steam Deck, I think it's 24 frames or something on Steam Deck. I should be able to get that to 30.
How does it feel on deck outside of that? Is it does it feel good outside of that? Is it I have no idea how this would feel on a controller. Actually, I haven't even tried. Let me try now.
Yeah, it so if you play with the controller, there's some settings I recommend changing. I like it with an always to give you a dot in the middle of the screen. That's in the settings, and then I run inverted. Don't hate me. And then on the deck, there's a resolution mode you can switch to, the 100 by 800. That helps with the frame rate, because that's it's a lower resolution than it defaults to. And it's like, the way I put it in my developer comments is, you can play it, people have, and they've finished it too, but I'm not sure what your particular taste is for, how it's going to run. You might feel like it runs too slow for your taste, so download the demo, give it a try.
Yeah, download it and try it. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I hope I would rather get to the line of no, like I've actually I've found some good optimizations. I'm confident in its deck performance, but again, Unreal plus Lumen, it'll be a challenge to get there.
Yeah, honestly though, I think your game is very beautiful. I think it is, and I
have to address this in the chat. Sorry, somebody says there's no cats, and that's false.
There's a cat? You've undone the entire reality that I built up inside of my head in this game. You realize that? It means there is a cat.
There's either a cat or multiple cats. It's a spoiler, right?
What? There is one or more cats.
There exist cat.
Cat, singular or multiple. Yeah, for me, I think that your game is fascinating. I think I've seen a lot of types of puzzle games, and usually what they'll do is they'll do multiple levels, right? But you've compacted everything into one singular level and one gigantic rotating structure, which I just think is, for me, it's really fascinating. And I think it's cool that you've made it all color-based, but still made it very accessible at the same time, which is, like, honestly really nice. We have a lot of people that have to care about that a lot. Our artist for our studio is actually red-green colorblind, for example. So all of our assets are kind of built in with that in mind. But putting that into the game and still having that kind of color-based stuff is awesome. I think it's fantastic, dude.
Yeah, I'm glad we could add that too. I didn't know how to solve that for a long time. Photosensitivity was another thing. For a solo dev, it's hard to find testers with accessibility conditions. But yeah, I found some colorblind testers, color vision deficiency testers, and then I found some photosensitive players who were willing to risk their condition, because if I'm telling you it's not going to trigger your photosensitivity and then it does, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So I found someone on Reddit who was willing to take the risk and help out and give me some feedback. And so there's the settings in the photosensitivity adjust the things that people have reported triggered them, and I guess so far so good. But again, if somebody was to feel it, then I would want to hear about it and see if I could compensate for it, because it usually just comes the eliminating flickering and any type of hard bright to dim transition, just sort of using grays instead. And I think the intro, when you reset, there's a lot of symmetry and rotation, and I have a it doesn't look quite the same, but it functions the same.
I've learned something.
Welcome to the Red World.
Yeah, I learned something very interesting and strange. I've learned something new. Let's see if it works the way I think it does. It does not. Kind of does. I'm getting there. Starting to understand your strange...
What were you trying to do?
I was trying to see, because I learned that you can change the rate or the timing in which the different worlds collapse in upon themselves. By removing blue and green, you remove those from the world, as per the colored lights inside of that one room. So my hope was to make it so that I could teleport from this by changing the color of it to a different world type by changing that color. And it did work. I was right. I was right! So now we can go back to the base camp, and it also teleports between these by changing the color of the world, but it always goes from the inside out, so I have to determine how I'm going to be... Okay, there's a lot there. Now we're back up on here, and this one will take us back to the platform up above, and this one will take us back down to the bottom, because it's the only other one that's solid, and the one on the corner is no longer solid. Alright. I understand now. I think. I understand something new, which is great. What a phenomenal game. And the only color left is red. Nothing else exists. Sane Thor, I'm deeply sane right now. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I love that it removes the bridge as well, so that adds another layer of complexity. This is fantastic. Well,
so this effect actually so that my original design was that, I guess this is all we're well past spoilers, but when you sort of run out of a color, I originally just had those particular blocks go black, and it was about June. I'd been building it for about 3 months, and I decided what would happen if I just left that color everything, programmed it up, and I actually got in yellow pyramid, and then I broke, I don't know, green or something, and it was so dramatic. I mean, this world view right now of all fun one for me, it looks, it's like, man, I've been here the whole time, but this looks dramatic and new.
Yeah,
and
it looks alien.
And that's what happened to me. I did all the programming work before I did the testing, and when I did the testing, it was a real whoa. I think this is just really a cool feeling here. And that's actually when I decided I needed the music from my cousin, because it was, the visuals were evocative enough to support, a more like cinematic style of music that we used.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I do think that this is fantastic, and I think it's gone in a really cool direction. And now the idea of going from barely manipulating colored objects based on what you have found inside of the world to mastering the ability to have unlimited resources, to destroying the world to manipulate it so that you can get into different areas, it's an awesome progression. It feels fantastic, to be honest with you.
Well, thanks. And you're not done, but
No, there's a lot more. I could tell. And I was the whole time we've been sitting here, I've been thinking about, okay, where were all the different teleporters that I found? What were all the colors of those teleporters so that I could go to those specific ones? Is there a way to manipulate it to not have it break from the inside out from one world to the next? And the answer is I don't know. So now I get to play around with it. But I love this. I think you've done a fantastic job here, and I think it's very cool. With that being said, we're almost at time. Is there anything you want to leave the community out with?
Oh, I guess we have a pretty friendly Discord. If you like these kinds of games, the genre that is, some people have heard of it, some people haven't. It's called Metroid Brainia. There's a subreddit, Metroid Brainia. I've met some really amazing devs through this process too, and if you want some other gaming recommendations that are in this same genre, check out Art of Reflection. Just came out. It's very Witness and Antichamber inspired. The Button Effect, these are some demos that are coming out. Button Effect has a Superspective it's more Antichamber like. One called The One Who Sees Things, which is a Witness and Outer Wilds kind of hybrids, doing some really cool stuff once you get into that dev's brain. And then one called Time Bound, I think it's got a demo too. He's at least play testing. And those are all, I mean, I guess what I would say, Indiecember.
Mm-hmm.
And any given genre that there's probably a whole sphere of people who are making indie games in that genre. And, go check it out. A lot of those devs could use playtesting. A lot of them could use support because the dev processes. And I appreciate you playing this, and I coming along for the ride. So thank you.
I've discovered something. Yeah, no, it's been fantastic. Honestly, I think it's been lovely talking to you, and I hope that your launch on PlayStation does really well. That's freaking awesome, dude.
Thank you.
And I look forward to playing this more because you had my interest, now you have my attention. It's kind of how it feels. I need to play around with this quite a bit more.
Well, I hope you like it.
I do, very much so far. No, it's been lovely talking to you, and this game is fantastic. It's a work of art. So thank you very much for coming on.
Great talking to you too.
Yeah, you're awesome. And How did you guys feel about it? By the way, if you guys have not wishlisted this, you should. If you go onto here, onto Steam, I'm going to link this to you guys in chat. There you go. Looks so good. Yeah. Make sure to wishlist it if you haven't yet. The more that you do that on Steam, the more that Steam will push that to other people. So that is the best thing you can possibly do for any indie game out there is wishlist it if you're on the fence even about buying it, or buy it, you know. It is how much? It's $10. So it's $10.
$10, yeah.
That is, I feel like that's definitely worth it. I think that's a great price for that, honestly. So fantastic. Hell yeah. And you ended up forming your own publisher for this, actually. I just saw that because you self-published.
Yeah,
nice.
0xp is a commitment to focus on game mechanics that are not based on I guess like the XP is the shorthand, but everything loot boxes and the treadmill stuff. I don't plan on using those types of mechanics in my games.
Well, that's fantastic, dude. Awesome. Good. Less loot boxes. Less storefronts as a video game.
Yeah.
Well, rock on, man. I will talk to you later. Thank you very much.